All right, we should be fine now. We should be officially live on both of them now. I see you over there, Upgrade's over there. All right. So I'm gonna come over here so I can laugh at some motherfuckers for a second. Guys, if you do not know what's going on, CB, what's going on, let me, all right, so I'm actually live on 2 fucking channels right now, which is crazy. But I had to go live on the Crime Time channel because I've told you motherfuckers for a long time. I have told you ever since I heard he bought the K-Bar. I have told you. BRYAN KOHBERGER has accepted a plea bargain. Yes, BRYAN KOHBERGER, I see you over there, has accepted a plea bargain. He has agreed to plead guilty to all of the crimes he's charged with in exchange for no death penalty. I'm going to show you right now, because Brian Hinton initially reported. God damn it, where's my shit? Let me get some of this other shit off my screen. Sorry, I was going live on the other channel. I was doing my other work. But here, Brian Hinton initially reported it. And here we go.
All right, breaking news coming in from the state of Idaho once again, but on a different story, as News Nation has just learned that the accused killer, BRYAN KOHBERGER, accepted a plea deal. Yeah, a plea deal was offered, and he has accepted the deal. Sources are confirming that prosecutors proposed dropping the death penalty. That was the deal in exchange for KOHBERGER pleading guilty to committing 4 murders and pleading guilty to burglary as well. So guilty plea in exchange for no death penalty. Now the background on this story, you'll remember he's accused of killing those 4 University of Idaho students at their home. It was back in November of 2022. Sources say KOHBERGER must also agree to spend the rest of his life in prison without any possibility of parole. So jail for life, no parole. But again, no death penalty. Must waive his right to appeal as part of this as well. Plea deal has been accepted. A court hearing for a change of plea will take place on Wednesday, so in 2 days. So this is just breaking. They'll be covering it in more detail tonight on Elizabeth Vargas Reports and also on Banfield. One of many big stories we're covering. Now, thank you for watching. Subscribe below.
Ladies and gentlemen, now there's going to be plenty of snack cakers. The same snack cakers that said that when Richard Allen confessed, they're like, no, he didn't really do it. They're going to say the same thing about BRYAN KOHBERGER right here. So I'm just going to sit here, and I'm just going to prepare for it. Go ahead, because I know there's some of you that are like, no, he didn't do it. If he didn't do it, then why would he confess to doing it? You're telling me this is 2 murders in a row. You're telling me this is 2 murders in a row where someone falsely accepted, what's up, Mimi? That someone falsely confessed to doing it. Yes, Robert, I'm on both accounts right now. I'm on the True Crime channel too right now. I had to go live there real quick so I can talk to them. I'll be back to the politics news in just a minute. More people need to be named now. BRYAN KOHBERGER clearly did it. He did it. I'm so shocked he took a plea deal. Yeah. And listen, I get taking a plea if you're innocent in some cases. You don't plea out on a quad. No, you're not going to plea out on a murder case that's going to send you to prison for the rest of your life when you're only 30 years old. To save his life, he had to listen. So that's the way they're going to do it now. Watch. They're going to say, well, he had to save his life. Well, how about if he was just innocent, he could have beat the case? I'm telling you guys right now, you cannot convince the snack cakers that BRYAN KOHBERGER or Richard Allen or Jeffrey Dahmer or anybody ever did anything wrong. You can never convince them of it. And you'll see it from this point on. Exactly. You plea out if you have priors and have an aggravated. Exactly. You don't cop out to 4 murders if you didn't commit 4 murders. You don't confess to something like that. You don't do it. Because if you didn't do it, then they don't have any evidence to say you did it. Do you see what I'm saying? I never really followed the case, but did they determine motive? No. I'm convinced, end of story. Shame, we won't see a trial. Yeah. And listen, because he probably realized that you got to realize they had went through all of their. He had exhausted all of his possible opportunities to slither out. There was too much evidence stacking him against him. Who is this co-defendant? There is no co-defendant. He did it. He murdered the kids. We got to stop looking for bogeyman. There's no boogeyman in this case, except for BRYAN KOHBERGER. We will return to a regular scheduled program over there on the gun show, on the politics stream. This is breaking news. I had to drop it over here. No question. I just can't see him capable of 4 murders by himself. Why not? They were asleep and drunk. Teresa, you can't. Okay, I love you, Teresa, but you can't take the position that everybody's innocent. You always have a reason why the defendant is innocent. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I thought he was innocent for 2 years. But the difference between you and me, Teresa, is when the evidence started piling up against him, I was willing to change my position. Because I was seeing the evidence. I was seeing the evidence. I still think the cops were shady. Yeah, of course the cops were shady. Cops are always shady. I do think this was shocking. I never in a million years thought he would take a plea bargain. No matter what. I never in a million years thought he would take a plea bargain. Because who the fuck would take a plea bargain for 4 murders? Who the fuck would... Oh, he definitely... All right. Are we in agreement that if he didn't do it by himself, then in the plea, he will say he did it with other people? Are we in agreement to that? That if he doesn't, when he's doing his plea, if he doesn't mention another person, are we in agreement if his plea was with the chance? No, there is no such thing as an appeal with a plea. The minute you plead guilty, you give up your chance to all appeals. There is no such thing as an appeal of a plea bargain. It's literally the minute you sign that plea bargain, you're forfeiting your right to appeal any decision. I never thought in a million years he'd plead guilty, ever. I never in my wildest dreams thought he would plead guilty. In fact, I said that you'd have to be a dumb motherfucker to think he would plead guilty. Now I look like I got egg all over my face. I knew he would eventually plead. Nobody, yeah, but I've never seen anybody plead out to a murder case. I never thought in a million years someone would plead guilty to 4 murders. This shit is crazy. Yeah, you waive all appeals when you sign a plea bargain. At least you're honest, Jamie. Yeah, no shit. I never thought in a million fucking years, like, cause you're signing you gotta remember, he's only like 30 years old. He just signed his life away. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd rather be put to death. Will they skip the sentencing? Yes, absolutely. If Wednesday is the sentencing. Let me announce that. Wednesday is BRYAN KOHBERGER's sentencing. What's up, Alicia? Wednesday, what's that, 2 days from now? BRYAN KOHBERGER will probably we'll see it. BRYAN KOHBERGER will accept the plea, and hopefully they'll air it. He will accept the plea. He will verbally accept the plea. on Wednesday. And then and that's a sentence. There is no sentencing other than Wednesday. Today he signed it. Wednesday it's a plea bargain hearing. He will go in front of the judge and say, I did it. And he will be sentenced right then, right now. BRYAN KOHBERGER goes to prison for the rest of his life. Wednesday. He already accepted the plea elation. I'll show you guys one more time for those that didn't see it.
All right, breaking news coming in from the state of Idaho once again, but on a different story. As News Nation has just learned that the accused killer, BRYAN KOHBERGER, accepted a plea deal. Yeah, a plea deal was offered, and he has accepted the deal. Sources are confirming that prosecutors proposed dropping the death penalty. That was the deal in exchange for KOHBERGER pleading guilty to committing 4 murders and pleading guilty to burglary as well.
That's why.
A guilty plea in exchange for no death penalty. Now, the background on this story, you'll remember he's accused.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here, Neroli. Neroli says should have did it in the beginning. No, you got to take the chance and see. You got to roll the dice to see if you can get away with it. You know, if I kill 4 people, I ain't going to tell you on day 1 I did it. I'm going to see what kind of leverage I can get. You know what I mean?
Accused of killing those 4 University of Idaho students at their home. It was back in November of 2022. Sources say KOHBERGER must also agree to spend the rest of his life in prison without any possibility of parole.
Exactly,
Jail for
Mountain
life.
Man.
No parole, but again, no death penalty. Must waive his right to appeal as part of this as well. Plea deal has been accepted. A court hearing for a change of plea will take place on Wednesday, so in 2 days. So this is just breaking. They'll be covering it in more detail tonight on Elizabeth Vargas Reports and also on Banfield. One of many big stories we're covering. Now, thank you for watching.
Man, I cannot believe this shit. I wonder, hold on, I gotta see. I wonder if Harsh has posted anything about it. He would have rolled the dice. Yeah, exactly, he would have rolled the dice. I just want to go to the post. Nope, he hasn't posted on it yet. That's crazy. He may have fucked up. Yeah, no, I think he did. I mean, look, man, he did it. Yeah. He did it. Now, what I will say is this about now the question now is, did he do it alone? When he goes to court Wednesday and pleads out, if anybody else did this, he's going to mention them. He's going to mention them. Nope. You won't get any information about it now. How they now like injury. I mean, a Freedom of Information Act request could probably get a lot of it. Yeah, of course, you waive your right to an appeal the minute you plead guilty. Yeah, do you think his dad was with him? No, not at all. Ain't no way he would take the rap for another. He just gave up his life. Exactly, Hunky would. Exactly. No, 100%. He would have rolled the dice. Yeah. Look, man, if he was innocent, he would have rolled the dice, period. I'm going to be honest with you. No, he cannot appeal because he just confessed to the crime, Alicia. He just confessed to the crime. You see what I'm saying? And by confessing to the crime, in exchange for that confession, they're taking the guilty verdict. I mean the death penalty off the table. As soon as he said guilty, he would have been yeah. No, I know that is what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. So I'll just tell you this. Wednesday, do you think that this was BK's own choice or Ann's advice? I'd say that Ann probably gave him the advice too. But at the same time, BK knows whether he's guilty or not. BK knows whether he's guilty or not. And so Ann's probably like, shit, you know? This is looking bad. Because we don't know what other evidence they had. We don't know. I want to know the story. We may never know. I don't think we'll ever know the story. He could have rolled the dice. Yeah, I can't believe he didn't. No, I don't think Harsh knew he was guilty. There's a lot of people that didn't think he was guilty. I didn't think he was guilty for 2 whole years. Bundy had 4 in one night. Only 2 happened to survive, but handling 4 by himself is not impossible. It's not impossible at all. That poor boy that was carved into his leg, I bet it was a K and a B. Maybe. I would think his mother put pressure on him to tell the truth and confess and not get the death penalty. Nah, maybe. I mean, any of that's possible. JB, do you think Ann Taylor knew truth from the start? Yeah. But she's got a job to do that made $8,000 a week. Let me tell you what probably happened here. And this is going to upset some people. Here's the truth. Ann Taylor probably found that, August is out of the question. Ann Taylor, when she lost, you know how she wanted to continue this indefinitely? When Judge Hippler said, no, we're not going to continue this, she probably realized, hey, I'm not going to get that $8,000 a week no more. We might as well plead on out. That's probably exactly what happened. Ann Taylor realized they're not going to continue it. She's not going to get that $8,000 a week no more. And she probably said, look, man, Exactly, Megan. The evidence was starting to mount. He's only a civil judge anyway. Yeah. So, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think we're ever going to get the whole story. Unless BRYAN KOHBERGER does jailhouse interviews. Unless BRYAN KOHBERGER himself tells the story. Because this is the one thing about not getting a trial that we get cheated out of, is the story. I've wasted 3 years on this bullshit, and I'm not going to get the story. You guys have wasted your time following this bullshit. We're not going to get the story. Can only ride the pony for so long? Yeah. I'm interested to see where all these true crime channels are going to go now. See, I do shit all day. I do YouTube all day. News, politics, whatever. Not fair we don't get the story. I think it's fair. It's their story to tell, man. We're not going to get the whole story. The bitch put us through almost 3 years. Yeah. It's their story to tell. So, I think bits and pieces of the story will leak out because the gag order will be pulled. So now we'll get to hear everything that Steve knows. Maybe KOHBERGER tells his story. Yeah. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe Ann Taylor writes a book. Now, that is what you should focus on. Because Ann Taylor probably will write a book. Ann Taylor's career is probably almost over. She's probably made enough to retire now. You bet you the Gonzalez are... No, I don't think they're pissed. Because in their brain, I don't think they're going to be pissed, because I think in their brain... Listen, if you're on their side, like what I mean is, if you're Steve Gonsalves or the parents, there was a risk of BRYAN KOHBERGER winning at trial because there really wasn't no hard-hitting evidence. I'm surprised he took a plea bargain. But I told you guys a long time ago. What did I tell you that a plea bargain, that a public defender's job was? And this is going to be it. I told you guys 3 years ago that a public defender's job was to do what? They gutted the parents. Harsh had just caught up. Yeah. That's funny, Megan. I told you guys 3 years ago that a public defender's job is to work with the state to get a plea bargain. Now, here we are. The public defender that I was just bitching about 2 days ago got the plea bargain. That's all I'm saying. And so I don't know. I think this has been a crazy case. I hope we get the whole story. I do. I'm sorry that we don't get. Does he have to tell a story to get his confession? No, but he has to. Well, yes. Kind of. Let me tell you the way this works. Well, of course, yeah. Well, yeah, they're going to offer a plea. Let me tell you how this is actually going to go down. He's going to go Wednesday, and then exactly, Ben. He has to confess to the actions. He doesn't have to tell the story. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, he has to stand up in front of the court, I don't know if they're going to record it. The way a plea bargain works is he has to openly in court accept the plea and admit guilt. He has to say, yes, I killed this person and this person and this person and this person. He does not have to tell how he did it. He does not have to tell the story. He just has to say, I did it. Does that make sense? Exactly, Vincent. Vincent says a PD getting a capital case pled out is a huge win for that Ann Taylor broad. No matter how it's sliced, Kohberger's not going to get the needle. Yep. He does not have to tell the story at all. And I'm going to be honest with you. But I'll tell you what, with him signing a plea bargain, he's more likely to tell the story, like do an interview and shit like that, since he's already admitted guilt. If he would have got found guilty at trial, we would have never probably got the story. But now, since Kohberger is admitting guilt, he might just give the details. He might actually give the whole confession. You know what I mean? So I know there's a lot of streams you guys still want to watch. I know there's going to be a lot of people talking if he plays guilty to all 4 murders. That's got to be something for the families. Yeah, well, he's got to plead guilty to them all. That's what the plea bargain is. He pleads guilty to every count, including the burglary. He pleads guilty to all 5 counts. And in exchange for that, the death penalty is taken away. Yeah, with her hands on his shoulder. Yeah, I mean, that's her job, though. A lawyer's job is to say that her client's innocent. You can't hold any of this against Ann Taylor. That's her job. By the way, tell Ravioli I said, says that they were beyond furious at the state of Idaho. Oh, man, that's crazy. By the way, tell Ravioli that green car came in handy. Just saying. I'm going to be very interested to see how everybody talks about this shit now. Inton tweeted, let's go see what Brian Inton tweeted. Something isn't right with this. There we go. I knew it was coming. Here they come. Brian still didn't do it. There's something wrong here. He still didn't. Watch, I'm telling you, the snack cakers are going to lose their shit. The snack cakers are going wild. They didn't believe it when I'm telling you, they didn't believe it when Richard Allen said he did it, and they're not going to believe it now because it fucks. They can't just say we are wrong. We are wrong. We were wrong. They can't say it. They won't say it. Swiggles, thank you. Swiggles sent 5. They can't say it, and they won't say it, and I can't wait. None of them will. Ravioli ain't gonna say it. Harsh might say it. But I feel like none of these people are going to say it. In the end, out of this whole community, I'm going to be the only person at any point in time to come out and say, I was wrong, I changed my mind. And that's exactly what we're going to see, because I'm the only real motherfucker here. Period. End of story. End of story. Horse just gone live right now. It's cool. I'll let you guys go watch Horse. I just wanted to let you guys know I was right. And by the way, I was the first one. What about Blondeville? No, none of them people are going to admit it. None of them people. This was more of a simulator. No, none of them people are going to admit it. None of them. Nobody would have taken this deal if they're innocent. Absolutely right. They're going to say, come on and say, I knew he was guilty the whole time. 100%. 100%. So, I love y'all. On the true crime side, I'm going to let you guys go watch Harsh or whoever. I know you guys want to see some of these other content creators. I just wanted to stop in here and say I was right. Thank you to everybody. Hit tip jar. If you haven't, you feel like my content is valuable, feel free to hit the links down below. I love you guys, and I will get you guys a proper video made tomorrow. Y'all be cool.